I'm Corbett Wall, USDA Livestock and Grain Market News, here with your weekly feeder and stocker cattle market summary for the week ending November the 9th, where we're going to say feeder calves because they're mostly all calves now, weighing over 600 pounds, but going into the feedlot sold unevenly steady. They range from $2 higher to $3 lower, but you know, for the most part they'd be a little bit lower than they were a week ago. Your lighter weight calves weighing under 600 pounds are steady to $3 lower. Full decline was noted most every place on heifers, and then particularly your heifer calves weighing in the fives and in the upper fives there, getting close to 600 pounds. Instances, higher markets on steers, as everybody prefers steers for the most part when they're buying their stocker cattle, and those little lightweight steers weighing under 500 pounds is what they wanted, and there were some higher markets on those in several places around the country. But you know, it's just dry, and it's been dry for the last 2 years here through the central parts of the United States, and it's just made unprecedented liquidation of breeding stock, movement of stocker cattle into feedlots, and the sale early of calves, and most of them being unweaned. And that's what we're into right now, as most of these calves that are hitting the market are unweaned. Guys don't have any grass to turn them on. They don't want to buy expensive feed to wean those calves on. So most all these calves are coming to the market unweaned, and most of the time your direct calves are sold unweaned. They're sorted off the cow right there and move on. But you know, the dryness is just, it's taken over pretty much everything. A year ago it was more dry down in the southern plains, and this year it was drier up in the northern plains and in the Midwest. But we just got to have some moisture sometime or another, and it's hurt the demand. Even though we've got the lightest calf crop in over 60 years now, the buyers are not coming into the market real fast, and buyers that normally background calves in the winter, they're just holding back and waiting as long as they can. Every day that goes by that they don't have any calves, they get to conserve their feed and their water, and don't have to use all that medicine that they need right now. And the further we can go into the winter before they buy those calves, the better off they'll like it. But at the same time, our receipts have been running really low so far this year. Cumulative auction receipts for the year are 5% below what they were a year ago, 10% below what they are for the 5-year average, and most everybody expects receipts to be a whole lot lighter in December, January, February, March than they have been so far this year. So if guys want to buy some calves to background, they better get to doing it, or they're going to be out of calves. And of course, everybody says you don't ever run out of cattle, but you know, runs will get light enough that the price should respond if you know, when the buyers come in, and if they just continue to get lighter. But when you're analyzing these markets, you see a lot of things, and a lot of times this time of year, and we've seen that especially earlier this year, that the heifers are significantly lower than the steers, and they really are. It's about $30 anywhere you go, and certain weights selling better than other weights, and the difference between a big calf and a big yearling. But this week, what really stuck out to me, and if you notice it in almost every major marketing area, but predominantly south of I-70. I say I-70 because you get north of there, that's pretty much considered, you know, northern plains feedlot area. South of I-70 is more your Texas and Kansas areas, and your backgrounders more so than farmer feeders. But you get from the southeast all the way across the plains there, a 475-pound calf, especially on a steer, but also on a heifer too. But a 475-pounder is costing just darn near as much per head as a 625-pounder. And in a lot of cases, especially when that bigger calf is a balling calf, you can buy the 625-pound calf cheaper than you can the 475-pound calf. It's just everybody's wanting that lighter stocker calf, and what they're looking to is they're wanting to take that calf, dry winter that calf, and come out in the spring with a hard stocker light yearling or a hard calf there, and then to turn out on grass, supposing that we have some grass this spring, and does rain or it snows somewhere that we're going to have some grass. but they really want next year's grass for that lighter calf, and then take that thing all the way through fall and use next year's corn on that calf, which they're hoping if we have a halfway decent normal year, or whatever normal is, that corn will be significantly lower. But you sure see a big difference between the price on the bigger calves, which is really beat down right now because there's a lot of them on offer and they are ballers, and then that lighter calf that everybody wants. But fat cattle this market are $1 lower this week, and from 125 to 126, and the 126 was almost entirely in the Texas Panhandle. Look at your regional weighted averages this week in the north central states. An 800 to 900 pound steer cost you $142.41 compared to $143.30 last week and $141.62 a year ago. Down the south central states, 500 to 600 pound steer cost you $157.27 compared to $158.94 last week and $150.15 a year ago. Down in the southeast, a 400 to 500 pound steer calf cost you $159.10 compared to $159.43 last week and $135.35 a year ago. That wraps up your feeder summary for this week. Check out our website for more market information at marketnews.usda.gov. And from the Regional Market News Office in St. Joe, Missouri, we'll talk to you next week.